Doo-doo. Righty. So let's go. Let's go. So what do we need? We need cat frame X and we need a replay. Right. Oh, we need to turn off my overlay. Turn that one off. We don't want two lots measuring. Also, I just saw something weird here. Need to make sure that's not going to update automatically in the background. Okay, that's still not happy. Why is it not happy? Really didn't want that running in the background. Why is that top left as well? I need to move that, don't we? Mix, overlay. Oh, wait. Actually, that's fine. Just do that. Fix that. Okay, bottom left now. Cool. That's fixed. That's fixed. So we're going to get a baseline, basically. Before we update, we're going to use the previous driver. We're going to get a baseline, and then we'll update the driver and run it again. Yeah. So that's going to go. So let's get our baseline. So I'm going to need a replay. Why is my GPU on 780 megahertz? What? What is going on? Why is that on 780 megahertz? Let's see, this has got reset again somehow. It's like this the other day. It has, it's got reset again. I did not do this. What has done that? Ay, ay, ay. I'm going to close this and restart it again. That's what that. That's why we check, folks. That's not normally there, is it? I'm on GC. What is going on? Something reset all this stuff. That's the thing that's having low. Data cache. Unlimited. Oh, let's see, high performance. 3D user settings. Off for the vertical sync. Right, click on everything. I missed that one now. Alright, follow up. That's that. That's fine. I mean, something's reset this, and it wasn't me. think that's all fine. What's the deal with that? Didn't I have this on my other environment as well? Alright. Might as well check all the other stuff, see what that's been reset to. No, that's all alright. That's fine. IOQ priorities, they'll be fine. The only thing that's reset is the NVIDIA control panel. I mean, no. I don't know. This is very strange. Let's check the NVIDIA profile inspector. Fortnite on this. See if resizable bar is still set. Disabled? What's going on? That's the other one I normally do as well. Where is it? Where's the memory one? There it is. Memory allocation policy. Aggressive. God, they really hide that, don't they? Hide changes. Do it twice for some reason. Don't know why. Close. Now we open Fortnite. Now we run the benchmark. Wow. Something got reset. I don't know where it was. So this is the, you can see here, 560.70. So this is the previous one. This was the one I've been running on recently. GPU 3000. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, 3000. That's right. 5.9. That's right. All right. Replays. No, wrong replay. Get out. Get out. We'll open the replay folder and we'll sort by the largest. So we'll find the most demanding one, in other words. This one. Let's call it bench. I don't know. We'll go with 999 at the moment. We'll see what it looks like in a sec. I'll refresh this. Right down the bottom. There we go. Open that. Probably a it's probably a ranked game. Ranked game. It's just me and Biscuit. So where's a good place to go from? That's 12 minutes. Should I go for a bit more endgamey? Where's the endgame finish? Maybe here? 19 to 21. Now what's... That's 16. That will take it 3 minutes to 19. I'll take it there to there. So it's about that to that. 21 minus 3 is 18. My brain's not working at all yet, is it? 18, 14. So 18 times 60 plus 14. We can go 1, 1. I have another 20 seconds to that. Don't know. I need it a bit more demanding. If I add another 20 seconds to that, that'll be 10. That'll be the end of the replay. 1180. Okay, let's go with what? Wait. Yeah. 1100. Right, chief time. 1100. Okay. Run this through twice. Ready, steady, go.
Capture started.
Why am I moving? This is not a high demand replay. You know what? I'm going to cancel this.
Capture finished.
I want to actually have this overlay running. I want to be able to see it. What's it disable? Turn that off. Right, that's better. Let's go 999s. Ready, steady, go.
Capture started.
I'm testing it now, Flying Saucer. Well, I'm not testing it yet. I'm getting a baseline first. A baseline reading of the previous driver. Then I'll update the driver. Then I will run exactly the same test again and see what the difference is. Keep an eye on my CPU max down there, that the 5900 doesn't dip to 5800 at all. And those temperatures as well. Nice and cool temperatures actually. 54s in the 50s while I'm running 5.9 gigahertz CPU. Pretty good. Heard reports though of the new NVIDIA drivers causing excess GPU and CPU power consumption and temperature increases. Just why I'm testing this. Now, what I just said, I'm testing it because somebody on my Discord says people are seeing increased power consumption and temperatures while I'm testing it. So I want to say for sure whether that's true or not.
Capture finished.
Okay, right. So go back to the beginning again. Now the shader cache has been done. Ready, steady, go.
Capture started.
Alright. Looks pretty stable though. That is really good temperatures today. Not jumping around that much either. There's no big spikes. Sitting in the 50s. Oh, it says, and it goes to 61. Oh, na, na, na.
Capture finished.
Alrighty, have a look. Make sure it's nice and smooth. So which this is 560.70. 560.70. These two. Make sure that looks alright. That's pretty smooth to me. 0.24. No big latency spikes. Everything under like 20 milliseconds. Average 359.1. Alright. Let's update to the newer driver now and rerun exactly the same test. Close that off. Alright. So let's update drivers. Let's update drivers. Do I have replay install? Oh, you know what else I need to double check before this? I need to double check that this was actually running on 60 Hz. Okay, that's fine. Was correct. Okay. Created that. Close this window. That's that. Right, okay. Ready? Steady, go. No, don't do that. No. We'll get another one in a sec. Okay, are we done? Are we done? You guys hear me again as well? Okay, I've got my mic back. My mic back. Okay, that says it's not done. Let's have a look at this one. There we go, 8-1. Okay, let's get going then. Okay, let's set this bad boy up. Yeah, some of the things here, look, it wasn't there. Scaling thing. Oh, into that. Oh, I've forgotten. That's all right. That's interesting that that's limited. Did I set that? I can't remember if I set that. Oh, that's its default. I mean, I'm streaming it limited anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right. That's that one. Already. Good. Disable dynamic P state. Check. I haven't got my integrated graphics on the wrong in that spot. Display. Yeah, disable descending depth. So that's the correct place. Run that. Priority. That's not going to reset. It's done. NVIDIA profile inspector. Find the resizable bar. And then what's the other one? The other one's way down here somewhere. There we go. Memory allocation policy. Aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Alright. Right, anything else? That's it. Reboot. Yeah, Kagami, yeah, somebody on the forum was saying, somebody on the Discord was saying that people are reporting these new drivers are pulling more power and they're running a lot hotter, both for CPU somehow and GPU. So I decided to get some definitive benchmarks. So before I updated, I just ran a benchmark, and now I've updated. We're going to run it again, and we're going to compare the two, see whether that's just placebo or whatever. So we'll have a look. We shall have a look. Make sure these haven't moved. Okay. 68, 69. '68, 69. Good. Okay, so that's all fine. So let's start Fortnite up. Just want to check the NVIDIA profile again. So something's been resetting these. I don't know what it is. Okay, that looks all good. All right, let's rerun the tests. Now we're on the new driver. And then we can say for sure whether it's pulling more power or not. Sizable bar on. Game mode on. Hags on. Good. okay at the moment. Replays. Down bottom. 999. Got no audio at the moment at all. Absolutely no audio. Now I do. Weird that. Gameplay. T for time. 999. That. Right. Gameplay ready. Steady. Go. You have to run this through
Capture
twice
started.
because NV cleanstall cleans out the NVIDIA shader cache. So I'm going to have to recreate the cache with the first run and then get a reading on the second run. So maybe people are reporting its high power usage because you're downloading new shader cache. Could be an explanation. I mean, typically new drivers are not worse performance by a measurable amount. I mean, it's teeny tiny typically. They're a little bit more bloated, but hey, Gad, how you doing? We are testing NVIDIA drivers at the moment. We benchmarked the previous one, and now we're benchmarking the new one, and we're comparing. People are saying they're running, the CPU and GPUs are running hotter with more power draw. So we're going to measure it, see if it's actually correct or whether it's exactly the same. This will be the most accurate test we can do. We have to run this through twice though, because we've updated the new drivers, which cleaned out all the shader cache files. So we're basically recreating all the shader cache files live now as we're running this first run. So once this is done, we'll restart this replay at the exact same timestamp, and we'll run it again with all the shader cache files filled in, and it'll be nice and smooth. And then we can compare the two smooth ones before and after with the different drivers. Well, that is the best way I know of to test this stuff. The most accurate way. Is the apps that I can test. Well, as I say, this is how I benchmark. So I benchmark FPS in Fortnite with exactly the same replay, exactly the same timestamps. So you can run it 2 times in a row and get exactly the same results in cap frame X. So if you change one thing in the system, and then so we go back to the beginning now and we run it again. And now the shader cache is filled in. So you basically change one environment variable on the system. I don't know, turn hags on and off, and then rerun the same replay twice. You can see the difference. That's the most precise thing you can do, and it's the most applicable because I'm running it actually in the game that I want it to apply to. If you don't have Fortnite and you want to run just a general benchmark, then you can run Cinebench R23 to test your CPU. You can run Superposition to test your GPU. But it's always best to test in the thing that you're trying to optimize for, really, which is the game or whatever game you're running. But it helps if the game you're running has a replay functionality, and you can specify an exact same time slice within that replay, so that you can have reproducible results every time. That way it's really accurate. And that's basically how I've built up my entire guide. Tested every tiny little thing before and after. And if it's better, it goes in the guide. If it's worse or the same, it doesn't go in the guide. And then you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it for different things, and you build up to a system that's just really good performance. So that's for FPS, and for latency, I've got NVIDIA Reflex Latency Analyzer built into my monitor. And again, I go into Fortnite and swing a pickaxe 50 times, get an average of the time it takes to click my mouse to see the flash on the screen. And then you change one variable again, and then you run it again, and then that's again like testing FPS and testing latency. 2 different tests. I go about this in a very scientific way, as I have a scientific degree. None of this look up in the air in Fortnite and see roughly what your FPS is rubbish that most tweakers do. "30 seconds to go, and then we get some results." Ocean view in Warzone. Is that like a set replay that you can use in Warzone? Is it? I like doing things properly. None of this guessing, just numbers. This way we know for sure whether something's better or worse or not. As we go in here now and we can compare, right? So that, oh, hang on. That run was building the shader cache, so we don't need that. And this one's the new one. What version is this? 560.81. 560.81. Now we can compare. That's fine. So add that to comparison, add that comparison, and then you guys find out at the same time as I do. So I'd say that was a little bit worse performance. 581. So the standard deviation is the deviation of FPS. So the bigger it goes up and down, the bigger the number for standard deviation. So you want a smaller number here for the yellow bar. These are average FPS and 1 percentile lows. So it does look like it's a little bit worse performance. And we can run it one more time just to be sure, but let's have a look at some other bits. Yeah, there, look. A little bit better on the top end. Well, saying that, I was getting some red in this. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at the power draw and the temperatures. All right, so sensor data. So previous one, power draw, average 144, max 163. No, it is. You're right. It is pulling more power. 144 before, 163, and then 152 afterwards, and 171. Gone up 8 watts power for the CPU draw. It's doing more work. It's doing slightly more work. 3% more CPU load. Extra on the new driver. The temperatures, it's gone up 3 degrees centigrade. Yeah, I'm not going to recommend this driver. GPU wise, what we got? Power draws looks the same to me. 98, 99. There's not much in that. Power draw looks exactly the same. Temperatures are exactly the same between those two. It's just a higher power usage. Anything, it looks like it's doing a little less work on the GPU on the new driver. Run it again just to be sure. Lows look a little bit better. Oh no, they don't there. Not the really low lows. Yeah, it's running hotter. What do you do for a living? I run all the IT for my wife's 3 companies. So that's what I do these days. But I used to do enterprise system engineering and architecture stuff for big companies around the world. I used to work for like Oracle and things. We used to implement big, huge billing projects. So if you've ever looked at your phone bill online, I probably installed the system for it anywhere in the world. So like if you're in the States, I did like Verizon, AT&T, all the kind of big telcos there. I've done everything across Europe, all the Vodafones, all the BTs, all the Telecom Italias, all everything like that. So that's what I used to do. But then when my wife started her companies, I stopped doing all the enterprise stuff. And then I had a lot more time for this stuff because my wife's companies are nowhere near as big as enterprise ones. So I have more time for doing gaming PC optimization. Right. Anyway, so yeah. So what do we think? What do we think? Let's run it one more time and see if it's just if it's the same. Run it one more time. Yeah, so I used to like tune big servers for a living and kind of plan the architecture, millions and millions of dollars worth of hardware with lots of multi-tier servers, kind of database tiers, app tiers, web tiers, and then all the kind of security stuff and millions and millions of users coming into it. And I used to install it, tune it, support it. So I used to do all that. So I've taken a lot of that knowledge and moved it to gaming PC stuff. Much smaller scale, but it's still the same principles. All right, let's run this one more time.
Capture started.
You're worth at least 2 more runs. Okay. Well, I mean, there weren't any big. Normally, you can tell whether a run is any good or not, whether it's on the latency chart, whether there's any kind of big peaks. Anything below about 20 milliseconds is normally quite representative in a decent run. So I normally chuck out anything that's got any huge spikes, but that didn't have any. So. Yeah, we can run some more to be sure. To be sure. What also might be worth doing after this run is me actually going back to 570, .70. and then rerunning it again. So I've got a test at the start, 2 tests kind of in the middle for the other driver, and then a test at the end just to make sure the system's just not getting hotter and hotter generally, and causing an issue. The fact it's pulling more power suggests it's not a temperature issue, actually asking for more power.
Capture finished.
All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. That was the first run. Second run. Yeah, that's actually worse. It is worse. Did that have any spikes? Oh, no, still no spikes. Everything else at 15, which is pretty good. He is downclocking the CPU. Well, no, saying that the average is pretty much, it's downclocking it briefly, look, but it's so brief that it doesn't even drag the average down even by 1. So if it's downclocking, it's only doing it for a millisecond. See, that's now pulling less power again. 145 that time, and then 172. 144 and 163. The peak power's going up a little bit, but temperature 60. So it's actually a bit cooler the second run, 57 and 72. Still, it's not in the 60s thing. This is difficult to say. Kind of split the difference, didn't it? That was frame time better. Frame time lower the number, the better. So the old one, yeah, kind of getting worse. Variances. Yeah, that wasn't as good, that one, was it? 13.2, 13.2, 13.2. My lag offset's about 4, I think, actually. No, it's not even that. It's about 3. Yeah, it's about that. They're all the same. Okay. Going down to about 330 there. Just gone past 330 there, but it didn't go down to 330 there. Not much in those two, is there? And quite a nasty drop there for some reason. It didn't have one there before. What's that about? There wasn't one there before. Alright. This is the latest run. The blue one. kind of having extra drops that weren't there before. I'm just saying that green one there had one that wasn't on the blue line. And the replays are definitely lined up because they're pretty much identical time-wise. So what caused that blue drop there? Been running in my background. Do one more for luck. Ready? Ready, go.
Capture started.
You don't see any difference. Well, as I say, I'm kind of measuring minute, tiny possible differences. So if you don't feel a difference, then that's different from actually measuring a difference. Hello. So I'm streaming at the moment. Yeah. You do what? Okay. No, I'll never make my own custom OS. Custom OSs are just dodgy, frankly. You don't know what's gone into them. At least Microsoft, if they do something dodgy, can be held accountable. You've got no idea what's in your operating system. You have a custom OS. I will never make a custom. Most of the custom OSs these days are actually putting like options in to add back security, which just basically adds all the performance back on. So the only appeal to custom OSs really was them being stripped down massively to the point where it's better performance, but you pretty much have no security. But now they're realizing that that's actually a bad thing. So they're giving people the option of keeping the security, and then you've actually got the same performance as you would have had with just Microsoft Windows. So, no, it's all nonsense as far as I'm concerned. If you wouldn't do it in a professional environment and a company, why would you do it on a personal, a commercial, B2C customer environment? Why would you have a less secure, dodgy thing fine as an individual, but for a business, you wouldn't touch it with a barge pole? And there's no business anywhere that would put a custom OS on their like servers or employee laptops. Nowhere would do that. So why would you do that anywhere else? ITSC Windows is it's made by Windows. So if you want to run that, that's fine. But I haven't tested that because normally when you buy a PC that's pre-built, it will come with either Windows 11 Home or it will come with Windows 11 Pro. That's the only two things it will typically come with. So most people then go, okay, what do I do now with this computer to make it into a gaming computer? They don't have the capacity to completely reinstall the operating system. They only have the capacity to optimize what they've got. So we're doing it now. We're doing it now. If you want to see the results, we're still doing it. So yeah, that's pretty much why I only stick with those. This is the third run on the new driver. Wait, how do I? 1, 2, 3. So it's actually getting worse each time. Look, the average FPS is actually coming down every day. Saying that, the lows were actually the best lows we've had thus far. Does seem smoother on the old one though. Less standard deviation. Lower standard deviation is smoother. But that's kind of getting smoother. What was that? I mean, what happened there? There. That's the last one we've just run. What happened there? Dropped down to 280. That's weird. Okay, didn't downclock at all. 78, 79, that's pretty much the same as usual. Pretty much the same there as well. 93, 31. No, that's not really much difference in it. What happened there though? Running my background. Hey, Cry. My PC was pre-built and I didn't get an OS. I just put. You didn't have, if it was pre-built and they didn't put an operating system on it, how did they test it that it was functional when they gave it to you? Must have had an OS. No company would pre-build the hardware and then not even test that it turns on and runs an operating system. We're trying to work out whether the new there's talk of the new NVIDIA drivers, the 560.81, having more power draw and more temperatures. So we're testing that. So I ran a baseline here to measure the temperatures and power draw, and then we updated the driver and we're comparing it. We've run 3 runs of the driver so far with the new one, but I'm a bit concerned what that was. That's not a good. It wasn't a massive latency spike, it was just a massive FPS drop. Where did that come from? Didn't have that on the previous ones. Kind of weird. GPU wise, identical. Nothing's changed really GPU wise. It's the CPU. I think didn't it say in the release notes it was meant to actually fix something for CPU. NVIDIA containers showing high CPU utilization. What it says it's meant to have fixed. I mean, when I bought my pre-builts from Cyberpower, obviously came with Windows, Windows 11 Home, and they actually then run a load of stress tests on it as well. So they run at some kind of, just to make sure all the components install properly and working together before they then ship it to you. So I'm very surprised that a company would sell you a pre-built computer and they haven't basically even turned it on and then ship it to you. Unless they kind of have a, I don't know, an operating system on an external drive and they boot to that and then they take it out again on the external drive after they prove that it actually boots up. It's the only thing I can think of that they might have done. But to sell a computer that you haven't even turned on and know it turns on, worrying. Okay, so where are we on this? Power. I mean, that didn't pull more than 160. Temperatures 57.64, 57.72, 60.71, 57.69. So temperature-wise, I mean, we've run 3 runs here. Temperature-wise, we've got, of those 3, worse than the previous driver and actually better than the previous driver, depending on which run we ran. Power-wise, we've got 144 average. We got the same or slightly worse power draw. That's actually slightly better there with the max, 160. So it could just be, within standard deviation of error, frankly. You've never had a pre-built in your life? I really like the pre-built from Cyberpower. I mean, I've bought 3 or 4 of them now. Really good. And they've got excellent support. So any problem at all, they arrange collection of the PC, don't have to pay for any of it. They'll take it back, and within 2 or 3 days, you'll have the computer back fixed. No questions asked. You just don't like something, they'll take it back, change it. Massive fan of Cyberpower, at least the UK one. The US one tends to be a bit more. In the beginning, I remember a script that upgraded Windows 11 Pro and activated it, but I can't find it. Oh, I've never heard of that, I'm afraid. Never done anything with Windows 10 or 11 license keys, ever. Not gone near it. Loads of other tweakers have kind of in their video, here's how to get an activation key. Loads of them do. But I have never gone anywhere near that, so it wasn't me. What do me? Right, so I don't like that. I kind of like to know what did that. This naughty spike. What's running in my background to cause that? Could have been Norton or something, or could it have been? I do sometimes wonder whether I should put Norton on my E-cores. I do sometimes think maybe I should do that. These guys. Oh, they're already on the E-cores. I've already done it there. They're already on the E-cores. There and there. So what else has used some CPU time up while we've been going? Obviously Fortnite. Loads on Fortnite. Alright, I know you guys can't see all of that. Let me move this a little bit. Right, I can move it to about there-ish. You guys can still see. There we go. Yeah, so wait. CPU time. So we're sorting by CPU time at the moment. 5 seconds. Desktop Manager, CapFrame X. Maybe I should be having that on. Should I be having the thing that's measuring it on an E-cores? Maybe that should be on an E-core. And I've ruled out any issues with that. L-Connect, that's on an E-core. Epic Games Launcher. Actually taken up a surprising amount of time. I mean, it could have been that, to be honest. Should have probably closed it. We'll rerun it again. Presentmon stuff. That's all CapFrame X. You can see which ones I've got rules to put on the E-cores. That. Don't want to be putting services on E-cores, principally because one might be a network service and you want that prioritized network services. That's on an E-core. Maybe the audio stuff I could put on E-core. There's the display container that apparently was having high CPU usage. This one. 5 seconds. Had 5 seconds of CPU. Easy anti-cheat. That's already... is it? No, I've left that on P-cores. I don't know. I just don't like the fact that that had a blip. And that's got to be something in the background that's caused that. Got to be. Because we've run the same replay on an isolated system. So it's not talking to servers while it's doing this. This is all on my PC. Why did it blip? The fact that it went above 360 worries me as well. It's almost as if there's something wrong with measuring it. Because it can't go above 360 because I've capped it to 360. It literally can't do that. So it's like it's measuring it wrong. Why do you use Norton as Windows security is not enough? So Norton actually has it's less bloated than Explorer. If you actually look, I don't know whether I've got Process Explorer on here. Might not have Process Explorer. I need Process Explorer. Install this. I need to go and do some lunch in a minute, by the way. Let me download Process Explorer quick. Grab that. That. Oh, extract that. Run as administrator. Right. So if you actually open Process Explorer up and you compare before and after of installing Norton 360 for gamers, I'm gonna add a column or two here. We're gonna add context switch delta and CPU cycles delta, and there's another one typically you do. What is the other one? Is it that? No, it's not IO. Not network. Not memory. Is it handles? I can't remember which. There is another one. There's a third one. Damn it. Which one is it? Damn it, I can't remember. Anyway, I'm going in a rabbit hole here. Right, so if you actually look at how much context switching it's doing with the CPU and how much CPU it's taking up, and you compare Norton with Defender, Defender uses, what is it, 3 times more of these? I think it's 3. It's at least 3. It's a lot more. So people that say Norton is just bloatware literally haven't measured it. The other thing is there is a bug with Defender whereby the Windows security live real-time scans. I can't even see it in here because it's changed it. The real-time scans kick in every so often when you're running a game or an app or anything, and it actually uses 5 to 10% of your CPU up, and it will do it really often, like every, I don't know, every 30 seconds or so. That's a Windows bug. To get rid of that, you either have to have a premium antivirus which knows about it and fixes it, like Norton does, or you have to run throttle stop, and that has it throttle stop in the background, and that has a thing in to stop it as well. That's why I run Norton, because I don't have to then run throttle stop. In my test environment, I am not running Norton. I am running just Defender and throttle stop. And as I say, this is actually better because I've measured it. But yeah, so I don't know what was using up. I don't know what was using up. I don't know why. I still don't know why I've got those drops. Shall I run it one more time? One more time. It's all fine. Shall I run it one more time with Epic Games Launcher closed? I mean, it could have been something in that. I can't see Norton having done anything. No. Nothing else really would be running in the background. I'm pretty sure I've disabled Windows updates for a month. Yeah, look, I've got it paused until that. So it's definitely not a Windows update. I mean, it could be a scheduled task. Could be a scheduled task. Run every day at 12:28. What? Microsoft update. Why have I just got audio? That's weird. That was a minute ago. No, nothing really there that could have been scheduled. Multiple triggers defined. Yes, blow me the Edge update. Okay. Normally take those off. All right, let's run it one more time. Right. T for time, 909. How many processes do you have? What, now? What do you mean on after a reboot? Normally about 88 on this environment, I think. Running. My LPC runs a bit lighter. I think that runs I've had that down to about 60 something. This one's got a few more things on it. On startup, really depends what you have on startup, but it really doesn't matter how many processes you have. What matters is what they are doing in the background. Really doesn't matter how many are running if a lot of them aren't doing anything. That's what so many people miss. I mean, I think, didn't Chris Titus make a whole video about that, saying it's total nonsense, saying how many processes you're running? Because it really does depend what they're doing. It depends on the context switching. It depends how much cycles they're taking up. That's what's important, not how many there are. So custom OS, oh, I've got 40 processes. So there might be 40 active processes doing lots of work. I don't know. Makes absolutely no difference. Right. Are we ready to go again? I think we're ready to go again. Let's go.
Capture started.
Yeah, it's just a nonsense flex. It doesn't mean anything. Honestly, doesn't. I mean, the only important thing is what's happening on the P cores that your game is running on. That's in the background. That's really all that matters. And given that I move quite a lot to my E cores, then they don't matter either. It's only about the game and where that's running. And if you've got interrupts happening on the P cores that take attention of the CPU away from the game. That's what's important. And the best way to measure that is exactly what I'm doing right here. I'm actually measuring the game itself. We're getting to the thing that we want to optimize, and that's where we're measuring, then doing the benchmark. Disabling Explorer? No, because I alt-tab all the time. I'm not disabling Explorer. I mean, what you could do is you could put Explorer into idle, I suppose, into efficiency mode. Yeah. Alright, I need to go make lunch after this. But I'm leaning towards this driver's fine. Because Rapper is going to ask me for a report later and whether or not we should update. Remember, for this test, I have actually stopped Epic Games Launcher in the background. So it'll be interesting to see whether this result is better than the previous one. Because I've changed one thing. What was the worst driver you tested? There was one ages ago that had terrible FPS drops, but it was only kind of one. And then the next one was fine again. I also have a problem with any driver after 551.50, is it? For my latency test environment, because after that they broke the NVIDIA Reflex Latency Analyzer overlay. And I've been trying to get their support people to fix it, and their response is, well, just use the old driver. Just fix it in the new one, please. Oh, that didn't go anywhere. Look, Alt-Tab. Oh, look. Don't do it. This goes back to I want a Windows environment that is fully functional and fully secure. I just want that. As a user, I want that. And I don't care if that has a performance penalty. I want that. I want those features. So optimize everything else that doesn't mess up the functionality, and it doesn't mess up the security. If you guys want to hack around in your operating systems and get bare bones latency, then that's up to you. It's what you want to use. But if I wouldn't install it at a customer for a big company, I wouldn't use it myself. Why would I? My rule of thumb. All right, let's have a look at this. So, okay, there wasn't a huge drop this time. So let's look at this one. So that's just jumped the charts a little bit. Look at that. Turning off Epic Game Launcher in the background. So let's get rid of 3, 2, 1, maybe 1. Keep those. Compare those. So that's pretty consistent, I'd say. I'd say that was pretty consistent. Other than the anomaly one, they look pretty much all the same. do think it's got slightly better FPS lows, but that's standard deviation. Let's have a look at 0.1% lows. They're saying looking at the 0.1% lows, it's actually better with the newer driver. The 132 there, 140s here. Yeah, I'd say there's nothing wrong with the new driver from this. Yeah, only test Fortnite. I mean, other than the standard benchmarks, superposition, Cinebench, kind of those ones, 3D Mark stuff. But game-wise, only test Fortnite. It's a CPU-bound game, Fortnite. All right, so I'd say that was fine. I'll post this on the post this in my Discord actually. On my Discord. Put it in the benchmark section, which is actually a premium section. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that was fine to me. I'd say that's fine. I'm tempted to revisit that. I don't know, full. Yeah, there's nothing in that, is there? Nothing in that either. All right. I'm going to go and make some lunch. I am the hungry. But yeah, so the conclusion there is the new driver seems fine. New driver seems fine. I don't think it's adding extra any temperatures. I don't think it's adding extra. It doesn't seem to be adding extra temperatures. CPU temp average 57 there, 57 there, 57 there, 60 there. I don't know why that was high. And 57 there. So pretty much always 57 average. So it doesn't seem to be adding any extra CPU temps. Power 144 before, 152, 145, 144, 144. So it seems to have averaged out pretty much where it was. I don't know why this initially had, first run was quite hot. But after that, seems to have just settled down to be almost exactly what it was between there and there. I mean, almost exactly. Pretty much nothing in that at all between that run and that run. Just, those numbers aren't really moving at all. Nothing. So yeah, the new driver's fine. You want to go ahead and install it. It has my seal of approval. For Fortnite at least. It might have issues in other games, but for Fortnite it seems fine. All right, guys, I'll be back on after lunch. If anyone's got any questions in the meantime, just bung them in my Discord. I'll try and jump on them as soon as I can. And I'll catch you guys a little later. Bye for now.